Time to go and leave the summit of K2 behind. Bye.
Noel Hanna, an experienced alpinist, was found dead at a camp after climbing Annapurna's summit without supplemental oxygen. The Irish mountaineer's demise comes as a tragedy, as he was only 56 years old, and he achieved many big things in his short lifespan. This is the story of Noel Hanna. What had been a successful season on the 26,545-foot Annapurna turned deadly in recent days. Now, a veteran mountaineer is dead, another is missing, and multiple others are lucky to be alive after daring high-altitude rescues. Annapurna is notorious for being amongst the most dangerous peaks above 8,000 meters, and traditionally it was rarely attempted, and only then by the most skilled mountaineers. Of Nepal's 8 peaks above 8,000 meters, Annapurna has the lowest number of successful summits at 395 according to the Himalayan database. Mount Everest, by contrast, has more than 10,000. Annapurna also has the highest death rate amongst Nepali 8,000ers at 2.99%. Annapurna Peak in West Nepal, first climbed by Maurice Herzog of France in the early 1950s, is considered dangerous because of the risk of frequent avalanches. According to hiking officials, at least 365 people have climbed Annapurna, and more than 72 have died on the mountain. Nepal has 8 of the world's 14 highest mountains. Climbing Himalayan peaks and hiking on their foothills are popular adventure sports, as well as a source of employment and income for the country, which is tucked between China and India. But things are changing on the peak, and in recent years, guides have supplied high levels of support and supplemental oxygen to make the peak more accessible to less experienced climbers. Of the 395 total summits, 129, around 33%, have occurred in the past 3 years. The climbers at Annapurna this year pushed for the summit on April 15 to 16, and approximately 40 climbers reached the top during a narrow weather window. But according to multiple reports, the group struggled on the descent. Some climbers even got lost. When a violent storm hit the peak, climbers became pinned down at a high camp, and some became too sick to descend. Irish climber Noel Hanna, 56, died in his tent at Camp 4 at 23,300 feet after summiting without supplemental oxygen. Hannah's wife, Lynn Hanna, confirmed the tragedy in a post on Facebook. He returned to the tent, took some hot soup and fell asleep, never to awaken again. No drama, no big story. It was his time to go, and he died in the Himalayas, she wrote. What better place for my mountain man to sleep well? Noel. An Indian climber named Anurag Malu, 34, went missing on Monday, April 17 after reportedly falling into a crevice below Camp 3. Malu, who was attempting to climb the highest peaks on all 7 continents, had abandoned his summit bid and was returning to base camp when he disappeared. Reports from Nepal say that a team of rescuers found Malu deep in a crevice and extracted him from the ice. The Associated Press reported that he was airlifted to hospital in Pokhara. However, his condition is unknown. Yubaraj Katiwada, a tourism official in Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal, said the cause of Mr. Hanna's death was unclear. The climber had just descended from Annapurna, the world's 10th highest peak according to his expedition agency, 7 Summit Treks. Mr. Katiwada also said that 2 Indian mountaineers went missing on Monday after losing radio contact with the base. Dozens of rescue workers were mobilized to locate the climbers, and one of them, Baljit Kaur, was later rescued at 24,156 feet. Officials said Ms. Kaur was airlifted to base camp and then flown to a hospital in Kathmandu, where she was reported to be in stable condition. The other climber, Anurag Malu, was still missing. Mr. Katiwada said the search for him was expected to resume on Wednesday. Around 3 Sherpas were believed to have died while climbing Mount Everest after a column of ice hit them, collapsing their path and burying them under the mounds of snow. The accident occurred near the Khumbu Icefall, a glacier near the 29,032-foot-tall mountain's base camp. Rescuers found the accident site, but couldn't approach it because it is considered one of the most avalanche-prone areas on Everest. Tourism officials in Kathmandu said that summiters have had to delay their expeditions for weeks because of unusual weather conditions. This has left them stranded on the base for weeks. Mountaineers have said descending Annapurna has become more challenging this year because of late snow and rainfall during the winter, making the routes slippery and more dangerous. Sherpas have had to struggle to clear routes up to the summit. Irish mountaineer Pat Falvey said he learned with great sadness and shock of Mr. Hannah's death. Extending his sympathy to Hannah's wife Lynn and his family, Falvey said, "Unfortunately, it's the game we play. It's not called the death zone for nothing. By the law of averages, the mountains do take life back. And he was doing what he loved, and he knew this. We have lost one of the best." Hannah, a former bodyguard, scaled the summit of Annapurna, but news of his success only filtered through on Sunday due to safety concerns. A renowned adventurer, he scaled summits and competed in sports adventures worldwide. He and his wife successfully summited Mount Everest in 2009 and 2016 from both sides. The couple frequently traveled from their home in Canada to Nepal. Hannah became the first Irish person to successfully summit and descend K2, the world's second highest mountain, on July 21, 2018. He also helped others scale some of the world's most difficult mountains. In February 2019, Hannah accompanied the youngest person to climb the highest volcano in North America, Pico de Orizaba, which is 5,636 meters in Mexico, when he summited with the 12-year-old American Decatur Boland and his father Daniel. In the same year, he accompanied Sarah Kamalo to the summit of Everest, which is 8,848 meters, making her the first Black African woman to reach the peak of the world's highest mountain. Almost 4 years ago, Hannah accompanied Seamus Shea Lawless, 39, from Bray County, Wicklow, who died just hours after summiting Everest. Mr. Lawless, a professor of artificial intelligence at Trinity College, Dublin, fell up to 500 meters during his descent in an area known as the balcony. Mr. Lawless did the climb to raise up to €25,000 for the Barrelstown Children's Charity, dedicated to seriously ill children and their families. More than €200,000 was raised to fund an effort to locate Mr. Lawless, but the search was eventually called off. Among the Dramara man's many mountaineering feats was becoming the first person from the island of Ireland to climb the world's second highest mountain, K2, in 2018, and had also summited Mount Everest 10 times. While known for his accomplishments in the Himalayas, the Mourne Mountains still held a special place in his heart, and he described them as God's own country. The Mourne Mountain Rescue Group joined in the tributes to Mr. Hannah, saying, "Noel was without a doubt Ireland's most accomplished mountaineer, a tremendous ambassador for mountaineering, and a truly inspirational figure whose influence reached many corners of the globe, while also keeping his roots well and truly embedded back here in the Mournes. Noel was an absolute gentleman, totally unassuming, and a friend to many of our team members," they added. "Our thoughts are with Lynn, Noel's wider family, and friends at this time." Hannah even set a Himalayan first with Lynn when, in 2016, they became the first married couple to climb Mount Everest from the Nepalese and Tibetan sides. In a 2019 interview with Sunday Life, Mr. Hannah spoke frankly about the dangers involved in taking on some of the world's highest and most challenging peaks. "You know, when you go away, there is a chance you're not coming back. But that's just the way we live. And if you were to think about that every time you went out the door, then there's no point really living life," he said. Despite his impressive list of climbing achievements, Hannah remained admirably modest about his feats. He once told an audience of mountaineering enthusiasts, "Everybody out there, if they put the effort and the time in, can do what I've done. There's nothing special about anybody who climbs Everest." What do you think about this? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to always be updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.